record levels of that year. Under its multi-year levels immigration plan, Canada is expecting to welcome nearly 1 million new immigrants between 2018 and 2020. Mga kababayan and East Coast friends, on August 23 at 8 p.m. on our Friday live stream habit, we are privileged to have our very special guests from ISANS, the Immigrant Services Association of Nova Scotia. Meet Ian, who currently works as Coordinator of Orientation Services at ISANS and helps new Canadians learn about and adjust to life in Canada. Meet Herbert, the Welcoming Committee's Coordinator for ISANS and who plays an important role for settlement of newcomers in Nova Scotia. Mabuhay, Ian and Herbert, as they will help us understand the role of ISANS in the settlement of newcomers to this part of Canada. We love to hear from our dearest newcomers, so feel free to engage and ask questions during our live stream. And also let us welcome back our boxing champion, Carl Abellio, as he relates his recent successful fight. East Coast Filipino Port is truly proud of you. But wait, our promo play is still on. Comment your answers on the link found on our page and win Halo Halo, the ultimate Filipino summer dessert courtesy of Kabayan Food Mart. This and many more on August 23 at 8 p.m. on our Friday live stream habit, only here on East Coast Filipino Portal. Canada's population grew by 160,607 in second quarter 2018, of which 82% was attributed to international migration, reaching record levels of that year. Under its multi-year levels immigration plan, Canada is expecting to welcome nearly 1 million new immigrants between 2018 and 2020. Mga kababayan and East Coast friends, on August 23 at 8 p.m. on our Friday live stream habit, we are privileged to have our very special guests from ISANS, the Immigrant Services Association of Nova Scotia. Meet Ian, who currently works as Coordinator of Orientation Services at ISANS and helps new Canadians learn about and adjust to life in Canada. Meet Herbert, the Welcoming Committee's Coordinator for ISANS and who plays an important role for settlement of newcomers in Nova Scotia. Mabuhay, Ian and Herbert, as they will help us understand the role of ISANS in the settlement of newcomers to this part of Canada. We love to hear from our dearest newcomers, so feel free to engage and ask questions during our live stream. And also let us welcome back our boxing champion, Carl Abellio, as he relates his recent successful fight. East Coast Filipino Portal is truly proud of you. But wait, our promo play is still on. Comment your answers on the link found on our page and win Halo Halo, the ultimate Filipino summer dessert courtesy of Kabayan Food Mart. This and welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal promo play. Every Monday we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
which Filipino boxer is known for nickname Kanan? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Canada's population grew by 168,687 in the second quarter of 2018, of which 82% was attributed to international migration, reaching record levels of that year. Under its multi-year levels immigration plan, Canada is expecting to welcome nearly 1 million new immigrants between 2018 and 2020. Mga kababayan and East Coast friends, on August 23 at 8 p.m. on our Friday live stream habit, we are privileged to have our very special guests from ISANS, the Immigrant Services Association of Nova Scotia. Meet Ian, who currently works as Coordinator of Orientation Services at ISANS and helps new Canadians learn about and adjust to life in Canada. Meet Herbert, the Welcoming Committee's Coordinator for ISANS and who plays an important role for settlement of newcomers in Nova Scotia. Mabuhay, Ian and Herbert, as they will help us understand the role of ISANS in the settlement of newcomers to this part of Canada. We love to hear from our dearest newcomers, so feel free to engage and ask questions during our live stream. And also let us welcome back our boxing champion, Carl Abellio, as he relates his recent successful fight. East Coast Filipino Portal is truly proud of you. But wait, our promo play is still on. Comment your answers on the link found on our page and win Halo Halo, the ultimate Filipino summer dessert courtesy of Kabayan Food Mart. This and many more on August 23 at 8 p.m. on our Friday live stream habit. Only here on East Coast Filipino Portal. Canada's population grew by 168,687 in the second quarter of 2018, of which 82% was attributed to international migration, reaching record levels of that year. Under its multi-year levels immigration plan, Canada is expecting to welcome nearly 1 million new immigrants between 2018 and 2020. Mga kababayan and East Coast friends, on August 23 at 8 p.m. on our Friday live stream habit, we are privileged to have our very special guests from ISANS, the Immigrant Services Association of Nova Scotia. Meet Ian, who currently works as coordinator of orientation services at ISANS and helps new Canadians learn about and welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or C. Peñalosa?
Welcome to East Coast Filipino Portal. Promo Play. Every Monday, we'll be posting one trivia question for you to answer and win a special prize from our sponsors. Our trivia question for this week is:
Which Filipino boxer is known for his nickname, Pac-Man? A. Efren Batarreyes, B. Manny Pacquiao, or
Mga kababayan and East Coast friends, welcome to your Friday live stream habit here on
East Coast Filipino Portal.
We showcase the passion and the pursuit of Filipinos and their friends
in the East Coast Canada region. We connect the Filipinos in the East Coast Canada region to the world.
This live stream is powered by UFind. For your social media marketing needs, contact UFind Canada through Joey at 902-440-8304.
And a big thanks to Hooked on Detailing, Paul Salvador, for your premium auto detailing in HRM. Contact Paul Salvador at 902-412-6001, located at 43 Fielding Avenue, Dartmouth.
And of course, thanks to Mortgage Alliance. For your right broker and your right mortgage, contact this guy at diabad@mortgagealliance.com or you can call him at 902-292-1368. And of course, thank you so much, Primerica, for your RRSP, RESP, and other financial protection needs. Contact again this guy at 902-292-1368. And of course, on September 28th,
Yes.
we are very excited for this all English performance from Nadia Moore and there's
the crew.
the crew.
Elmer will be there. There's some other bands that will be performing. K-Movers would also be there. So if you like dancing, retro dancing, 70s, 80s, and 90s, it will be an amazing event for you to be there.
So songs from Bee Gees, Tom
Bee Gees,
Jones,
my
Kenny
friends, the
Rogers,
Beatles.
your friends, Whitney Houston, who else?
So ABBA,
okay,
like,
yes,
Mamma
Lionel
Mia
Richie,
kind of
yeah.
things, right?
Earth, Wind and Fire, so all those songs. Guys, if you are not going anywhere on the 28th of September, contact Helen Burchell or Alan Atienza. You may email them at pinoyeventhalifax@gmail.com. So the event will happen on the 28th of September. That's a Saturday from 6 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. at Diman Lebanese Center. It's at 345 Kearney Lake Road in Halifax.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to look forward for that event. It's going to be an amazing and fun-filled event for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, I think they did an event early this year, and that was very successful. So that was around, when was it? Around March, was it?
Yeah.
Around March, and now they're coming up with another event. And I know that a portion of your tickets, it's only $25, and I know $5 will go to the basketball Tamaraws.
Yeah, the
And-
cameras for charity.
Yeah, for charity. Awesome. And of course, Donnie, kamusta yung araw mo? How was your week?
It was really good. We just came from the Wolf celebrated our youngest son's 9-month celebration, and I was watching Carl Abellio's game.
Wow.
He fought in the boxing game, and it was really amazing. Great job for Carl. We're going to have him actually tonight as one of our guests.
I can't wait for Carl to progress later on. Well, actually, he's here now, but later on we'll talk about how how was his experience for that fight with an Irish guy.
Yeah.
Awesome. So,
How was your week?
oh, how was my my week? We went canoeing in
Nice.
our favorite canal here in Shubi Park.
Yeah.
So that's we do it every year, and we went swimming afterwards in Lake Charles. So it was really fun. So you guys, I would recommend that to you if you have no plans and it's a sunny day. It's really still hot, very hot in Halifax, and I can always feel like when you go out, it's muggy, it's kind of humid, but it's nice, so you don't have to shovel.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it.
And then last week we were at Truro, right? We
Yes.
emceed the Ancop Walk celebration. There were a lot of people that showed up, and the great thing is that we were able to raise some funds for the Ancop Association, Ancop International. So that would help a lot of people who are less fortunate for them to be able to have a house in Africa and the Philippines.
In India, in Sri
India,
Lanka, and
yeah.
specifically in the Philippines. So ANCOP stands for Answering the Cry of the Poor.
Yeah.
So the walk has been in Canada for at least 16 years.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that they did it in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, and then shout out to Tita Peachy. Tita Peachy's watching. She
Wow.
said to Koji that they're going to watch in Truro. So Tita Peachy, Greg Forbes, thanks for watching and thanks for having us last Saturday for the celebration. And Deputy Mayor Chasom was there, right?
Yes, yeah, he was there, and it was actually our first time in Victoria Park. Me and my family do a lot of travels around Canada, but it was our first time to be in Victoria Park, just a stone's throw away from Halifax.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful park, so we
went
had
to
so
the
much
falls.
fun. So those who are watching right now, thank you so much, Twinkle Villanueva. Ayan, so
Joey Moreno.
and Sherry from Cape Breton. Thank you so much for
and
watching.
Koji.
So we can't wait to have our news. What are the news that has been buzzing us for the past few days?
Yeah, so we have the Canadian Business Association calling for the federal government to address labor shortages. So that's a great thing for us to. I think the government's also
Mhm.
making a lot of work in terms of addressing that concern. One of that would be the AIPP, Atlantic
Mhm.
Immigration Pilot Program, and it seems like it's easier now to be able to hire people and bring people in to address the shortage in the labor.
Mhm. Well, if you compare Canada to the rest of the world, we are only 3.2%, in terms of job vacancy. So it's not alarming, but we really appreciate how the federal government has been responding towards this rate. And I think more than immigration, because of course, obviously we're from the Philippines, but more than immigration as the answer to the labor shortage, I think what the government has been doing, it's really training the locals. So later on, we have people from ISANS. I know you guys are so excited. So they also do a lot of training so that immigrants are at par with what the labor market is expecting of them. So, and aside from that, we have NSCC, we have a lot of other programs that the federal government has put into
Yeah.
so that its people here in Canada are ready for the demands of the economy. So it's not just immigration, but it's really training the people who are here so that we'll be able to, all of us will be successful.
Yeah, and then just to mention, when we have Ian and Herbert as our guests, send in your questions if you have any concerns regarding immigration, not specifically AIPP, not the program, and any events on settling or things that ISANS would be able to help. Feel free to send that by a comment on our page, and we will do our best to be able to address that question and mention it to our guest.
Awesome. Let's go to our next stop for our news. So, skilled immigrants, Canada is making progress toward gender equality. So, in starting in 2017, we've seen a big difference of the CRS scores of the women.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of women who've been applying to come here, and their scores have been soaring high.
Yeah.
And well, just for the past few days and the past few weeks, we've seen there's Rachel, there's Maui. We've seen a lot of, you know, immigrants who are women who are coming into Canada. So yeah, so it's a great thing, and we can't wait to have. Of course, we all are from our moms, right?
Yeah.
So even though I grew up in a family of 6 all boys, but we're all mama's boys, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's nice to have women, and of course, but tonight it's kind of sad. I try to contact because Saul is not here. Saul is our guest host, so she normally comes every Friday, but for this Friday she's in New Brunswick, so we're quite sad, Saul, that you're not here.
But we're happy for you. You're based.
Sorry, guys. Tonight it's gonna be all men, so it's a all male show. So, well, we try to be to be gender sensitive, but yeah, we did contact a lot of our guest hosts, but maybe next time.
And
for sure.
our correspondents are.
Oh yeah, definitely Jacqueline Molto and Shirley.
Cheryl. Yeah.
And of course, this is the third news is our big congratulations for our champion.
Yeah.
Our boxing champion. It's none other than Carl Abelio. Woo! Come on in, Carl.
Carl.
Carl is here. Ilang taon na ba si Carl?
How old are you, Carl?
I'm still 15.
Hi,
15?
Carl. So Carl is only 15,
Alright.
but he competed last week, right? For your boxing. So tell us more about that.
It was taking place in New Brunswick.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to fight on Ireland for and
How many rounds were there?
there was like 3 rounds.
3 rounds?
3 minutes each.
Wow.
Was it a knockout though?
No.
Was a split decision, right?
It was split decision,
How did you prepare for that?
I had to train a lot harder.
Yeah.
To jog every morning. Had to do
That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Jog
You
every
should
morning.
train us.
So as we all know, Carla Bello, he's a very quiet, very shy, But every time we contact him, he always says yes.
Yeah.
And he loves to come here because he's really been an inspiration to a lot of Filipinos and of course to the locals here in terms of discipline and in terms of achieving what he really wanted. So last time we featured just Carl and now he's coming back as a guest. So how is this fight different from your other fights?
Oh, this one was probably the hardest fight I ever fought.
Why?
Wow.
He had really fast hands,
Oh, okay.
and like I tried, kind of like beating to him with
Yeah.
fast hands, but I really couldn't. So I just tried like countering with him
Oh, you did some counter punches.
Yeah.
Wow.
to the body. And the head.
Yeah. And that's part of the plan that you did
Yeah.
before you actually started the fight.
You want to show Donnie to himself like how you do the counter punches? Just kidding. So Carl, once again, on behalf of East Coast Filipino Portal, we are very proud of you. We're very proud of your achievements, and we can't wait. One day you'll be our Olympian
Thank
for
you.
Yeah,
boxing,
And then WBA, WBO, IBA.
or maybe you fight Pacquiao as well.
He's probably retired during that time.
It'll be very interesting if Carla Belli will fight a Filipino in the Olympic arena. We'll see how it goes, though.
Yeah. And then just imagine, maybe Manny Pacquiao will be watching because we have him. Oh, in the promo play, well, he's one of the choices in there. Just imagine if Manny will be watching and said, "This guy has a future. I saw your footwork," and then he would say, "Come over to LA and train with me." How amazing would that be?
That would be my dream.
That would be.
That's your dream?
Manny, if you're listening and you're
If
watching.
you're watching. Mine is up in the stairs right there. So Carl, once again, thank you so much. I know your mom, Jovi, she's very happy, and of course your dad, and the rest of the community, the Filipino community, and your friends. And she mentioned a lot of stuff about you, on how kind you are to your sisters, despite the fact that you are into a very brutal sport. I would say it's a very brutal sport, but yeah, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Carl, before you go, what are the message that
Oh, yeah.
what's the message that you can share to the youth or the parents that have kids that they would want to encourage to be into sports or boxing? What would you share? What are the things that you learn by being part of boxing or sports? What are the benefits?
Benefits is like it keeps you healthy.
Yeah.
It keeps you more active, so like it'll keep you from like staying home all the time and like off from like electronics.
Yeah. And gives you discipline, right? Because
Yeah,
otherwise your
discipline,
coach
yeah.
will put you in your place, right?
Yeah.
Right? So parents, if you want your kids to have some discipline, work out with Carl.
And also we have to work out as well.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
for us.
Work
work
out with our program. Awesome. Thank you so much, Carl. We hope
Thanks,
to see
Carl.
you next time.
Hope to see
Say
you.
hi to your family. Ayan.
The IBA World Champion.
Ano naman? Okay.
All right, so we're our next the events that we're going to have. We're going to have August 31st, where the 2019 Mosaic Festival of Arts and Culture. That's a Saturday. It's going to be at the Salter Lot in the waterfront in Halifax. That's usually a great event. There's music, food, and a lot of activities that the kids and everyone in the family would enjoy.
I think this is their second year, right? Because they started last year, 2018. So this is their second year. So I haven't attended their event to be honest. So hopefully this year I'll be able to, because I heard a lot of good stuff with the Mosaic Festival. So
Yeah.
yep, and of course the second event. This is going to be exciting because the first time we went there, my kids were born here in Canada, but they really don't like halo halo. But when we went there last time, he was surprised because Abrams was like, "Dad, that's my favorite dessert now."
Yeah.
So they're gonna have the second halo halo party, and it's very interesting. It's only $3.99. You can bring your up to 20-ounce cup.
Yeah.
And you do it yourself. You mix all those
Ingredients.
coconut. The young coconut is really good.
Yeah.
You put the yam, a lot of stuff.
leche flan, ice cream.
The pearls, what do you call those pearls? Tapioca pearls.
Yeah, and then the beans.
The banana, the sweet
Banana, yeah.
beans, the banana. So you mix them all up, and then you put ice cream, and then you put leche
Crushed
flan.
ice.
Of course, crushed.
Yeah.
I forgot about
I almost
crushed
forgot
ice.
about it when I bought one a few weeks ago.
So it's a great event. It's gonna be this Sunday.
Yeah, we're going.
So this Sunday. So guys, go to Kabayan Food Mart. Bring your $3.99, and actually $1 will go to the Filipino Association of Nova Scotia. And they're giving a lot of prizes as well. One of which is the Family Barkada movie tickets.
Yep.
So if you get to win in the raffle, you get 5 Cineplex tickets.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
amazing.
And
And
of
two
course-
winners of $50 gift card to Kabayan Food
Is it
Mart.
50 or 30? Are you gonna put the
30, yeah, not me. So,
So it's-
$30, two winners of $30 gift card to Kabayan Food Mart from Fly Pinoy Travels.
And hopefully I'll get to win the $100
winner.
gift certificate. So I'll bring my family in. Koji, if you want to come, so we'll go there. Hopefully one of the East Coast people or staff will win. Can't wait to win $100. So
Yeah.
guys, it's a good cause. It's very cheap. $3.99, and then $1 goes to the Filipino Association of Nova Scotia. And one of the projects that the fans has been doing is the scholarship for the youth.
Yeah.
So that has been ongoing for years already.
That helps a lot because anything helps for you to reduce the cost of studying, right?
Ayan. So a lot of people are watching right now. Ryan Fraser, thank you, bud, for watching. Jovi, Carla Bella's mom, has joined us. Cecilia, thank you so much. Jude, Flores, Royna, and Christopher. I know you guys are so excited. If you got any questions for our main event for tonight with regards to immigration settlement, please comment down below. Where is it? To your to my right.
To your
So
right.
which is to your left? I don't know. So it's just in the comment section of this live stream. Comment down below if you have any question about immigrant settlement here in Nova Scotia. So I know we have viewers from all over East Coast Canada. So you can also comment with your questions, but specifically this is for Nova Scotia's immigration and settlement. So our first guest.
We're going to go on to the video. So would it be
Jacqueline? Okay.
Jacqueline? Yeah. So we're going to have the video from Jacqueline Molto from Facebook.
Our East Coast correspondent.
Today we're here at Margaree Salmon Hatchery, in which the salmon and trouts are hatched and bred. salmon are native to the North Atlantic Ocean and coastal rivers and can be found on both sides of the ocean, including parts of Russia, Portugal, Iceland, and Greenland. In Canada and the US, they can be found from northern Quebec and Labrador to the Connecticut River. Due to overfishing and the destruction of habitat, salmon no longer can be found in much of its original range and the numbers of fish have seriously declined. The speckled trout is the most popular sport fish in the Atlantic provinces. It is taken with spinning, tackle, bait, and flies. Unfortunately, many natural populations of speckled trout in Nova Scotia have declined. They are vulnerable to overfishing and human practices that affect their habitat. The hatchery also has conference room, library, and audio-visual rooms that can help the people to be educated and provide local intelligence as the presence of fish and their location. They also have some pamphlets and leaflets, some handbooks that will educate the people to know about the regulations of fishing, especially on salmon and trout.
It's 126 days before Christmas, and excited na ba kayo? We're inviting you to share your blessings by packing a shoebox. Ito po. We have the Samaritan purse, Operation Christmas Child. And lalagyan po natin sila ng school supplies or anything po, toys, books, and anything po na magkakasya dito. Ito po yung pre-made box. And gagawin lang po natin siyang the size, which is a shoebox size. Shoebox gift transforms life. When you pack shoe boxes, Operation Christmas Child works with churches around the world to deliver them to children living in war, poverty, and disaster. Each box is a powerful expression of hope, joy, love, but that's the only beginning. More importantly, shoebox gift open the door for children to hear about God's greatest gift, Jesus Christ. This is not about religion, but it's about sharing and giving hope to these children. These are some photos of Sandigang Pinoy from last year's event. And these are from Operation Christmas Child Canada Facebook page. These photos were taken in the Gambia, west of Africa, which they recently received shoebox gift. Operation Christmas Child began in 1990 when Dave and Jill Cook of Wales were watching a television report about Romanian orphans. They asked, how can we provide some joy of the real victims, the children, who live in these situations day after day? David and Jill couldn't stop the poverty, but they could offer something, the gift of love. Together, they filled a convoy of 9 trucks with medical supplies, food, clothing, and Christmas gift for children, then drove to Romania. It marked the start of what has become the world's largest Christmas children program. As the number of donated shoeboxes grow year by year, Dave and Jill looked for a worthy organization to assume leadership of the program. In 1993, Franklin Graham, International President of Samaritan Purse, adopted Operation Christmas Child. Later that year, Samaritan Purse delivered its first filled shoeboxes to children in war-torn Bosnia. Since then, Shoebox Gift has been delivered to more than 157 million children in over 130 countries. In 2018, Canadians donated 500
All right. We have here our special guest from ISANS. We have Ian Shepherd.
Yeah, and coordinator of ISANS, coordinator of orientation services at ISANS. So he helps new Canadians adjust to their Canada life. And so originally, of course, he was born in Annapolis Valley. That's the fruit basket of Nova Scotia, I would think. So we always do a lot of pickings there. So we can't wait to hear a lot from you, Ian. And of course, our second guest, of course, here's
Herbert Kalisa, right? And he's a part of the welcoming committee. He's welcoming committee's coordinator for ISANS. He works collaboratively with the community groups, organizations, and the settlement sector of Nova Scotia. So welcome
to East Coast Filipino Portal.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And
All
thank you
right.
so much for allowing this interview. We know this might be your first time, but we're very, very happy and very excited. A lot of viewers are watching, and there's questions that are popping out right now. So we can't wait to have our newcomers or anyone who are watching. We can't wait to engage with you later on. But right now, the biggest question is, for those who are not familiar of Immigrant Services Association of Nova Scotia, what it is and what does it do?
Okay, I guess I'll answer that. So, ISANS, where I work, has been around for about 40 years. Started just delivering a few services like language and some settlement services, and now it's grown quite a lot. So we have about 250 employees who deliver services for English, employment, business services, settlement, as well as a bunch of other services I'm probably missing, including community connections, which is what Herbert and I both do.
What's the website again?
ISANS.ca, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
When I first came here, it wasn't ISANS yet. It was ISIS, right? And then you guys changed it to ISANS.
Yeah.
So you guys do a lot of like varying programs in terms of settlement for immigrants. So you've mentioned about connecting with communities.
Community connections.
Community connections, because we know a lot of immigrants, when they come here, they feel so depressed. And they feel so disconnected with the ice or the snow. So what do you do, Herbert, in terms of your role as the welcoming communities coordinator for ISANS?
Thank you so much for inviting us here, and thank you. This is a good opportunity. Well, as a welcoming communities coordinator at ISANS, I make sure that one of the things that I do is I facilitate the Building Intercultural Competence workshop.
Okay.
So it's there to train newcomers, but also train organizations that work with newcomers and volunteer with newcomers to help them, first of all, understand the aspects of immigration and also settlement integration issues. So that's the first step. So kind of help them understand where newcomers are coming from.
So you connect with established organizations and associations,
Right.
in terms of the newcomers when they come here, because they normally go to which community or association, so they normally go there, and then you guys kind of like enforce and help these associations so that newcomers are integrated properly. So are you guys? Did you do Were you connected with the newcomers barbecue?
Yes, I actually did volunteer at the Newcomers Welcome Barbecue.
So you work with Rose?
Yes,
Yeah.
work with Rose.
I think Rose is watching. So
Hey Rose.
Hi Rose.
So Rose is watching. So
Yeah.
wow, that's a great workshop that you guys do. Ian, so what do you do in ISANS?
I do a whole bunch of workshops. So my main role is to teach a course called Introduction to Nova Scotia, which is about a 2-week program where newcomers come from all different places around the world.
Yeah.
And we get together in a classroom and we learn all kinds of aspects about living in Nova Scotia as well as living in Canada in general. So we cover things like employment, education, housing, financial stuff. Basically, there's 10 topics, and we cover those in quite a lot of detail. So it's
And
sorry, go ahead.
what of that program? What are the ones that really stand out? Like most concerns of the immigrants.
Yeah, I would say employment. Probably when they get to my class, most of them are looking for work. They're getting to the stage where they're sending in resumes and applications, and they might not hear anything back from employers. So they're sort of wondering what's going on, and these are people who are coming with a lot of skills and experience, and it's not that they can't find work, it's just they might not know the right way to format a resume, and they might not have networked a whole lot. So we talk about things like that, and I try to encourage them to keep going, and they're doing all the right things, and I sort of tell them about programs that are in the community and available at ISANS that they can take advantage of too.
You mentioned about resume. So back in the Philippines, I normally have like a 3-page resume, and then when I came here, it's actually condensed into one, right? Plus the cover letter. So it's a great training when you go to ISANS because they will train you on how to really respond to the demands of the employers, because they wanted a 1-page resume with 1-page cover letter. So that's one of the things that you can learn in ISANS. So you've mentioned a lot of things that you also help with employment. So how, aside from resume, what else do you guys do in ISANS?
Yeah. So in
Because
ISANS,
employment is really one of the big thing, right?
yeah, that is a huge team at ISANS, and usually when someone would come to ISANS, they meet with an intake counselor and they talk about what their goals are, and do they need language programs, do they need an employment counselor, and then they'll get a referral, and then employment will pick up that referral, and usually within a couple weeks they'll make an appointment to meet with their employment counselor, and then they'll go from there, and then they'll talk about other services like job interview practice. There's a job search strategies workshop, which is a 3-week program that's a really excellent way to prepare them for getting into the nitty-gritty of actually making the resume and cover letter and networking and all those skills that they need to have.
So what would you suggest for new immigrants? What's the best way for them to be able to land a job or find a job that they would like to have in their field?
Well, I think that depends whether it's a regulated or unregulated profession. You guys know that it can take a long time to get your credentials recognized here in Canada. So I think if you want to be a doctor, then that could be a period of a year, a couple of years of doing tests and taking courses, and so it is quite a long procedure. But other professions where they might not need to have those certain certificates or credentials, then they can get into their field right away. But of course, the main thing is building your network and meeting people who can help you in the process, like maybe getting a mentor. There's a community, or there's a connector program through Halifax Partnership that they can sign up for, and they find that to be really useful for
Yesterday
a lot of
was
newcomers.
yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of the Halifax Partnership Connector Program. I'm actually one of the volunteers at the Connector Program.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
Excellent.
You were mentioning about accreditation for our licenses or profession outside of Canada. I believe there are bridging programs in place, right? So what are the professions that ISANS is helping for with the bridging program?
Oh, great. Yeah, we have a few bridging programs that are active right now. So there's the healthcare bridging program for nurses.
Which is quite
or
popular,
doctors.
right?
Very
Yeah.
popular, yeah. And there, as you probably all know, there's a big demand for nurses and doctors in the East Coast. So that's a really popular program. There's another one for engineers as well. That's been active for quite a while, and yeah, that's really popular too. We've had in the past some other ones for, financial planners and things like that. But get in touch with ISANS and check out our website. We try and keep that up to date, and we'll list all the available bridging programs there.
Well, so you've mentioned, say for example, with the healthcare bridging program. So if like say for example, hypothetically, I'm a nurse and I came here. I'm new because there's a lot of Filipinos who come to Canada and they're nurses. I don't know for what reason. I'm not a nurse by profession, but yeah. So when they come to ISANS, what's the process? You mentioned about the intake counselor. Do they have to have the intake counselor first and go through the process? How does it go?
Yep, that's generally the process for all of our programs. They come and get registered at ISANS. So we'll have you in, you fill out your a form, and then they'll get in touch with you for an intake appointment. And then depending on your skills and interest, then they'll get you in touch with a coordinator for the healthcare professionals program, or my program, or Herbert's program, or whatever programs we offer. But definitely come in and see us. But we do have pre-arrival services as well that you will be able to register for from overseas or other places around the world.
So Herbert, could you provide more information about the pre-arrival sessions? Are you familiar with pre-arrival?
The pre-arrival sessions? Yes, so those sessions are there for individuals that, for example, if you're outside of Canada and you're planning to come here, so we do pre-arrival sessions that will provide briefly an orientation of taking you through when you get here, and the process of when you get here, and give you some bit of orientation about Nova Scotia, so that they give you a bit of an orientation of how to get settled into Nova Scotia. And usually they could provide you with help when you arrive. So when you get in, give you ways in which you could settle, things to buy when you get here.
That's very detailed, specific.
And if you're looking for an apartment, some certain things to prepare you to get settled in here in Nova Scotia.
I think I'm the worst one because I didn't know. To be honest, back in 2011, I didn't know about the pre-arrival. Is this a new thing?
It's relatively new.
So
I'll say
because I brought a lot of stuff that are not supposed to. Well, they're like like the
not supposed to bring that to you.
whole. I got two luggages. One luggage is dedicated for the seafoods. So it was interesting. But anyway, so it's a new thing. So you guys, towards in a course of time, you guys develop your programs that will cater to what because this is new. When you come here and you have the pre-arrival orientation, you would know what to bring, you would know what to prepare physically. So my main concern is that going back to the bridging program, because when immigrants come to Canada, they want to work right away.
Yep.
Do you guys get that kind of like feel when they approach you like, hey, I'm here, I want to work? That's normally the case, right?
Yeah.
So for me to take those weeks and months of workshops and training, and I need to feed my family. I'm just in a practical aspect of coming here. Like I need to feed my family. I need to pay my bills. It's Canadian dollars now. It's not Philippine peso or whatnot. So how do you guys respond to it? Because that has been the biggest issue amongst immigrants. When they come, they want to work. They want to pursue whatever they want to achieve.
I mean, I encourage them to be patient. Things will take a longer time than they will expect it to. I mean, some people come here and they say, you know, I'm going to get a job the first week, I'm going to buy a house the second week, but as you guys
Wow.
know, it takes time, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, do your homework before you come. So you guys are doing a great job of informing people, you know, what to expect. Get in touch with ISANS even if you're overseas, and register for some of our pre-arrival programs, and you'll be able to talk to an intake counselor, you know, from overseas, and they'll be able to help prepare you for things like the job market and housing. We were talking about that earlier, how housing can be difficult for newcomers as well. So do your homework, prepare yourself, be patient, take advantage of all our services, get networking also before you come. So join online groups like Facebook groups and
Just like our page, right?
Yeah.
just like your page, exactly, yeah.
Join
And
us.
when in Halifax too. When in Halifax.
When in Halifax is
When
an
in
excellent
Halifax.
resource. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I encourage them to do, so part of my program is we organize different events,
Yeah.
and I definitely do encourage people to attend those events, because through those events you're able to meet, because there's so many people that we invite at those events to come.
Yeah.
For example, could invite the mayor, could have the MPs and different people within the community,
Yeah.
so that when they come, the reason why they come is because the intention is to connect with the newcomers that are within the community. And that's how usually when you meet those people, you can easily start your connection from there.
Yeah. So would you be able to share some of the events and the dates, but not necessarily actual dates, but estimated months that those events will be happening, so that people can put it in their calendar or prepare for it, so that they don't need to travel back to the Philippines, just to make sure that they meet you and see you there, those kind of things.
Yeah, so right now I don't have a specific event right away, but I have an event that is coming up that's called Sapanova,
Okay.
and it's a multicultural potluck where people cook food from their own country. So
Oh,
if you're
that's
from the
my favorite.
Philippines,
Yeah.
you can cook something, a special dish from the Philippines,
Yeah.
and bring it
to the event.
to the event.
Yeah, we love
And which is
I can tell. Yeah.
So it's not stepping over.
it's called Sapanova, and we have also usually.
Where's this? I'm sorry. Where's this event? And
And
what time?
so this so the
That's fine.
event already, so the upcoming event is coming up in October, and to be on October 26th.
October
Which is a Saturday,
26th, yeah. We would love to have the
We're gonna
information
feature
for
that in our page. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'll send you more information in regards to that event.
Yeah. When it comes to food, we're always in.
And you have MPs also that make a dish and also bring it. So
Oh, nice.
it is something you can connect. You eat
Yeah.
something, but also you connect with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's always good to have food, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, what do you find? Like, what are the things that you find that are always raised by new immigrants when you meet them? Is it more of like housing? And you mentioned about housing, right? What's the most efficient way, most efficient and effective way for immigrants to look for housing, a place to stay? Any strategy that you usually suggest to new immigrants?
That's a great question. So I've come back again to networking. So if you can make some connections before you arrive, and maybe they might be able to tell you about an upcoming vacancy in an apartment. So you get in there before it's advertised publicly. That would be sort of a great way to get in, because you know your friend could vouch for you, and maybe you don't have a credit history in Canada. That's sort of an issue that a lot of newcomers face. That
Yes, that's what I faced when I came here. Because
okay,
they said we can't buy a house because I don't have a credit history.
Right.
So
yeah. Some newcomers face that same issue, and they do ask for a larger down payment. So you may be able to buy a house, but you have to have a lot more money saved up.
35%.
35%, yeah. So that's quite high. In terms of an apartment, I mean, most landlords want to actually meet you face to face, so it's quite difficult.
it's challenging. Yeah, we've been getting a lot. I don't know, for out of East Coast Filipino portal, we came up with Settle East Coast. We talked about this a while ago. So it's a 2-week. It's a very baby program between when in Halifax and East Coast Filipino portal, because we saw the demand online. They've been messaging us. So that has been really a challenge. Next week we got 2 or 3 or 4 coming in, and they need to sign a contract. They need to do this and that. So How is it part of the ISANS program? That do you guys do a program, or how do you respond to this? Because it's really been like there's only how many of us in Settle East Coast as of the moment.
Right.
So can we recommend them to you, and how do you guys deal with it?
I'm gonna say no, we don't really deal with that for a lot of your viewers. I think if you're coming here as a Nova Scotia nominee or a skilled worker, we don't have a service where we'll find you an apartment and take you through that whole process. If you are, on the other hand, coming as a refugee, like a government-assisted refugee, then
That's
we
where you
help
come
you
in.
out by finding an apartment and setting you up with furniture and all that stuff. But there is a gap in the market. I think provincial nominees, skilled workers, they don't have that person to help, and I guess that's what you guys are going to do here. So that's a great service to have.
So ISANS also help refugees, right?
Yes.
So what are the services that are being offered to refugees?
So with the services in regards to refugees, there are quite a number of services. One of the services would be like, for example, settlement, like we mentioned earlier. Those are some of the services that we'll be providing at ISANS. I'm not well versed with that program specifically, but my colleague has more information on the refugee settlement side, and I can always send out more information in regards to that.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
So, what are the other concerns that immigrants usually come up with when they first see you and they say, Ian, Herbert, these are the main concerns I have, and what are the things that usually comes out when you sit down with them to create a solution to those concerns that they have?
Great. So I get a lot of questions, financially related questions. So income taxes is always a big one. They want to know how to file their income tax correctly. So
That's a big thing, though. Yeah,
It
because
is.
a lot of countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's already done for you, or you might not have to do anything. But here in Canada, you have to
Do it yourself.
physically do
Yeah.
your own income tax return and make sure you're paying all the taxes you owe. So people are quite surprised when we talk about things like assets held overseas. Like if they have a home overseas, then you will have to report that to the government of Canada, and when you actually sell that home, then you might have to report a capital gain, and
Exactly.
then you have to pay some taxes here in Canada.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people say that's not fair, it's not here in Canada, so why should I have to pay? But when we explain that they are now a resident of Canada and they're taxed on a global basis of their income and things like that, then they're surprised, but they understand, where the government's coming from.
And I know, our accountant, he actually volunteers for ISANS.
Great.
Especially for those who are very brand new immigrants, like for the first year.
Yeah.
So you kind of do a lot of them. I think in one day he did 30 or 20.
Yeah.
So it was really a good service on his part. So that's one thing I really like about specifically Nova Scotia, because people here are very helpful. People here are very warm, and more than anything else, I think you would feel a little bit of depression, but in Nova Scotia,
Just in winter, though.
yeah, just around the winter time. But in Nova Scotia, we have this program from ISANS that deals with settlement. There's a lot of questions popping out right now. Ann Magayam is a big fan of ISANS. A while ago, she said, "Thank you, ISANS," but she got a question. Can we just go backwards a little bit? So she said, what are the programs offering for international graduate students who come here and is looking for a job? So there's two parts of the question.
Yeah.
So one, the situation is that it's an international graduate, so specifically from the Philippines, and then he came here and he wants to get a job. So what's your program with that? And you've mentioned already about the bridging program if you're in the healthcare. What if it's not in the healthcare field?
Well, I'm not sure if internationally graduated or international graduates can in fact qualify for that program. So, I encourage you to still contact ISANS, but we're funded, only to provide services to mostly permanent residents, but we do provide some services for international graduates. Just I'm not sure if that specific program is for international graduates.
Because right now the main focus is on healthcare and engineering, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of the schools will provide their own employment services. So maybe Herbert can talk about that because you know he's a former student here from overseas.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So with regards to international graduates, there's ISANS couldn't. We have other programs within the province. So we have the stay, and then we have the study and stay in Nova Scotia, and those programs that would be supportive for international graduates specifically. And those programs were there designed for them specifically. And if any of them really want to approach what are looking for international graduate programs, that's one of them that they could look into. So they stay and then they study and stay in Nova Scotia.
What are the instrumentalities within the community that you guys are connected with? Because you mentioned that you guys do like if it's not being offered with ISANS, what are other instrumentalities or other agencies or other non-government or governmental agencies around the community that you guys normally connect with?
So we are connected with we have the YMCA.
Awesome.
Immigrant programs for the YMCA. Then we also have I forgot the other name. Refugee clinic, the Halifax Refugee Clinic is one of them. We
Wow, it's my first time to hear about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can always talk more into detail about the Halifax Refugee Clinic, and then we have also Immigration Francophone, which does something similar that ISANS does, but provides it for people that speak French, that all come from French-speaking countries. Then we have other associations. For example, we could have the ethnoculture associations. Then we have the private sponsorship groups. So those could be churches, for example, like Mosaic. Different churches would also be one of like sponsorship groups that we partner with, or the ones that would provide similar services.
So pretty much ISANS is kind of like the umbrella of a lot of other programs.
Right.
So you guys connect with the community. So I want to go back to your role as the welcoming communities coordinator.
Right.
Say for example, like Settle East Coast, we wanted to pursue our plans of really helping, from like upon arrival of this newcomers. What do we first do? Because we know that in the Filipino community, there's a lot of other communities as well. So hopefully this question would help them. So what do we do in terms of your role with the welcoming committees?
So in terms of my role, first of all, my role is there to bridge the gap between organizations that would provide services to newcomers, and then also the organizations that establish here in Nova Scotia. So one thing that I would recommend that the Filipino Porter does would be, for example, you could come at one of the events and showcase what you do. For example, if you could come to Sapanova and I can introduce you.
We would love to come.
Yeah, there's food there.
So I introduce you as the people that are going to take the food. No.
Yeah, that's part of it.
But I would introduce you as the Filipino Porter, East Coast Filipino Porter that does provide different services within the community to support the Filipino community, but also does other work to support different newcomers that are within the community. So that's one thing that I would do. Then the other thing I do is I go out into different communities and I attend roundtables. And what I do is when I attend roundtables within the communities, I find out free services that newcomers can access within the different communities.
Within their communities.
Yes, and what I can do is when I get access to those services, I can send them to you, so that if possible, you could post them and then let people know within the community or people that are coming in within the community of the different services, not only ISANS but also to the different service providers that are providing
Yeah.
for the newcomers, and most of those services that I would go to attend or that would be provided will be free.
Oh wow.
That's great. That's great.
So there's
That's
most of
amazing.
them. There's no charge for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good because like people who are just immigrated usually don't have or have limited resources, financial resources,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So for people who immigrants who arrive that wanted to start a business, what are the things that they need to know if they would like to start a business before they arrive and when they arrive here? What are the things that they need to know and consider?
That is a great question. I don't really focus on that with my workshops, but we do have a business team at ISANS, and so as soon as you get here, maybe you want to get in touch with a business counselor.
Yeah.
They'll talk to you
Oh,
about
wow.
registering your business here in Nova Scotia, getting a business number. They'll talk to you about accounting, and we have some volunteer accountants to come in, and they'll meet you up with an accountant, and they'll take you through the steps of bookkeeping and managing your business and things like that. So
Yeah.
we have a business counselor service. We have business workshops that you can attend.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are quite a few business services at ISANS. So
That's
they'll
great
help
to
you.
know. Yeah, and so it's ISANS is not really just for employees, but also for people who want to start their own business in Nova
Absolutely.
Scotia.
Absolutely, yep.
So it's a one-stop shop. Everything is in ISANS. So
Yeah.
if you come to Nova Scotia, make sure that right away you get connected with ISANS.
Yeah. But there are other immigrant serving organizations in PEI,
Yeah,
Newfoundland, St. John's, sort of all around the Maritimes. So find out where yours is, contact them, and see if they have business services and all kinds of other services.
in addition to that,
And-
because you were go ahead, Herbert.
Also to add on to what Ian is saying, that the different services that help with business. As a person that came here and started a business, I unfortunately didn't study through ISANS. I wish I had studied it through ISANS.
Yeah.
It would have helped me. But I had to do these things, some of these things by myself. But it will be good to go to like maybe the Center for Entrepreneurship and Development, which is SEED,
Oh wow.
Okay.
and they give you one-on-one. There are some of the people that would help you as well. So they give you one-on-one on how to start a business, where to register the
Is
business.
it free?
Yeah.
The intro it will depend. Some of the
Okay.
services are charged, but then some of the services are free.
Okay.
Yeah.
The initial consultation is free,
The
I think,
initial
so go
consultation is
talk to
free.
them and
Yeah.
see what they can offer.
That's good.
Maybe you should have the seed next time.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
also BDC as well. So
Oh, okay.
Center for Business Development.
Yeah.
They also provide. They also provide information for entrepreneurs and people that are looking to start businesses as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. In addition to that, there's also an Atlantic Immigrant Career Loan Fund, right?
Yes.
Would you be able to share some information about how and what's the purpose of that and how people can avail of it?
Can
Yeah.
qualify of the program.
So our clients would have to go through their employment counselor. So
Mhm.
if they feel it would be advantageous for them, then they can apply for that loan. But basically, it's for things like the cost of testing, getting your credentials recognized, maybe upgrading some courses and things like that.
Yeah.
I believe it's an interest-free loan, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But they will have to pay it
Because
back.
Ian will pay the extra.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
paying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has something that Jerry says in his workshop. Interest is very interesting. So don't quote him on that.
So does it only cover the healthcare and engineering, or it
Nope.
encompasses?
It can
All
be
the other-
used by other fields for sure. Yeah. Yeah, but there's an application process. If you might have to specify what you'd be using that money for, and
Mhm.
you can receive, I think, several $1,000s to cover some of those costs.
Wow. And then, what are the programs or sessions or other resources that you offer to new immigrants in terms of improving their communication skills?
Okay, so that would be our language department at ISANS. So there's all kinds of courses. You can start from the beginning. If you don't know any English at all, then you'd start at a beginner level class,
Yeah.
all the way up to sort of level 8.
Advanced.
Yeah, so we use the Canadian language benchmarks, which go
Okay.
from level 1 to level 12. we deal with level 1 to level 8 at
Yep.
ISANS, and once you reach level 8, then you can apply for university or college studies. So we offer just general language where you learn how to go shopping and talk to your doctor and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And then we have some specific language programs. So things like workplace language
Yeah.
or English for engineers or things like that. So they can be very specific or they can be general. We offer morning classes, afternoon classes, evening classes, and also online classes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to choose from. Again, we have a language counselor. So your first step would be to take your language test at if you're here in Halifax, it's Learn English Nova Scotia.
Learn
I think
English
it's
Nova Scotia.
lens.ca or something like that. So
Lens.
if you're in the city, you do it in person. If you're outside of the city, you can meet with somebody in the
Online.
smaller communities, or you can do it online. Once you do that, then they'll recommend some different programs to you, or you can meet with our language counselor at ISANS, Andrea, and she would talk to you about which courses would be good for you.
Yeah.
So say for example, if it's an engineer who comes in, do you guys have someone who teaches with an engineering background or someone who's equipped with the vocabulary around that profession?
Ideally, that doesn't seem to be the case because not a lot of engineers also teach English, and I think it's more important to have the teaching skills because an English teacher can learn the proper vocabulary and what type of conversations they have. So that's our main focus, but they definitely know what they're doing. They study all the appropriate vocabulary and stuff. So
Yeah, I went through that CLBA because when I first came in, that was my main concern. I think most immigrants, that's our main concern in terms of like coming here and getting settled. I'm not really particular with getting a job and whatnot because my wife was already here. So, and we were in an apartment that time. So my main concern was learning English because the first time we went to the library, I thought she was speaking cartoons or something. I'm so sorry, but like I was so off the hook. Like I didn't understand what she was saying. So I told my wife, well, I really need to learn the language. So I went to ISANS and I did the CLBA, took that and went through some of the courses. So I find that the courses were quite rigid and very strict because it was around the advanced level, but now it's degrading. So I have to go back to ISANS and learn more.
Come
more
on
about
back
it.
anytime, we'll take it.
So going back to, in addition to what Alan was saying, so if, for example, the person had been here for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, can they still go back and avail of the services of ISANS, or is it just for newcomers 1 year,
2 years.
less than 1 year, those kind of things?
Nope. We're there to take you through the whole settlement process. So maybe you just need us for 6 months after you arrive, but we'll be there with you because often it takes longer to learn language, especially that can be a multi-year procedure. So we're there
Just
with
like
you
in
that
my
whole
case.
time. Oh yeah, maybe. Well, it's a lifelong learning experience. So we do offer language classes to citizens as well as permanent residents. There's lots of different, I think even like the business counseling, you could be a citizen and still apply for that service. My workshops, I sometimes have citizens in those as well. Maybe they're just a citizen, maybe they're coming from somewhere else in Canada, or they're coming back from living overseas for 10 years and they forget what life is like in Canada, so they want to get reacquainted. So definitely we see quite a few citizens.
Or maybe they just want to see you again
I
after
don't know
3 years
about
of
Hang
disconnection.
out with you.
So you mentioned, Ian, that there's roughly around 250 employees.
Yes.
Are they all employees or volunteers as well for
Yeah.
ISANS?
Yeah, that 250 is not including volunteers. We have
Wow.
hundreds of volunteers at ISANS, so those are all paid employees.
So how do you guys fit in that small office in Mumford?
There's
250,
different
there's a
offices,
lot of... So do you have remote offices or...
We
You
have
have-
expanded. We have some people working around the province.
Oh, nice.
We also have 2 other offices in Halifax now. So
Oh, nice.
our main office
didn't
is
know
on
about
Mumford. We have
Yeah.
one on Joseph Howe in the Manulife building.
Where's that at?
It's near the Rotary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
couple
Oh,
blocks
Joseph
from
Howe.
there.
yeah.
TV
Yeah.
down there.
I didn't know about that because I only know that you guys are in Mumford.
Yeah. And the third one now, which just opened maybe a year or so ago, is on Desmond Avenue.
That's
Yeah.
downtown.
I've been,
Yeah.
I've been
So
here.
that's where the Bowlerama is and the Bears Road
Learn
shopping.
English and play bowling afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So it's really great to know that the government is putting a lot of efforts because, as we all know, between 2018 to 2020, nearly around 1 million immigrants. That's the goal of the country, and specifically in Nova Scotia, I think we get a big chunk of that portion, right? So the government is really putting a lot of efforts, serious efforts, into making sure that the skills that come in are actually skills that are ready for the job, for the economy. So there's not very much questions though. There are some private questions, and I think they're quite scared of me.
But we're going to greet the people that are watching
Oh, yeah.
right
We
now.
got a
Shout
lot of
out
viewers.
to Apple, Dilangalen, to Joey Moreno, to Eunice, Kalim, Mitch, Nerio, Olive, De La Cruz, Bernard Mabatid, Joel Manuel, Noli Acosta, Eric from Silong, Indicalina, Jaidep Grover, so Jaidep is an Indian guy, Rod and Christine, Kalel, Marshall, Ashton, Joey Santolipe, Helen Spino Borsho, Beliaris Yano, June Kojen, Anne Magayam, Joby, she was here earlier, Joby Abelio, Carl was watching earlier, Dulce, Ace Joben, Guillaume is in Quebec right now, he was watching, Liberty Patron, Jomar Flores, Ida Umipig, Arnold Cortez, and Royna from Truro, and Reese Flores.
Yesterday I gave a talk in Spanish.
In Spanish. Wow.
So thanks to Google Translate. Patricia Garon, you're watching. Buenas noches. Thank you so much for good thoughts last night. Nai, Sandy, everyone who's watching, thank you so much. So I guess if you guys have any more information that you want to relate to our community, any last words?
No, well, just come and say hi at ISANS. Sign up for my program. Sign up for Herbert's program. I think we do a good job, and we're providing a really important service. So
We agree.
yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thanks for the questions.
Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you very much, Ian and Herbert, for being here with us. Before we actually leave, we have a promo play, and that's the promo play is asking who is the Filipino boxer who has the nickname of Pac-Man.
You guys know the answer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
What's
the
the
answer?
Manny
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao.
Yeah!
Awesome. So to all those who qualified, Anne Magaya, Maria Lourdes, Beng, Armando, and Josie, Mario, Juni Kritos, Jersey, Jason, Jules, Cheryl, Mary, Jodo, Marshall, Joyus, Jego, Norberto, Ace, John, Kevo, Dennis, Charles, Concon, Arlene, Rod, and Leonora. So these are those who qualified and were able to get the answer. So the answer is letter B. So we will be giving out Halo Halo, courtesy of Kabayan Food Mart. So which one of you? Maybe Ian or Herbert, click start and we'll find out who's the winner.
It's exciting.
Yeah, while we're waiting for that, we're going to announce the sponsors that we have.
And of course, we'd like to thank Joey Moreno. Joey is not really feeling well today. He was quite sick
Thank you.
yesterday, but I was quite scared that he won't come here today. But because of dedication and the love for our newcomers, and of course the East Coast Filipino Portal community. Joey Moreno is here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Joey.
You find Canada.
You find Canada. To all those who have businesses and they wanted to come up with a website or promote their businesses online, contact youfind.ca. That's Joey Moreno at 902-440-8304. So that's 902-440-8304. Actually, every Wednesday, they do an online live stream with George. From ISANS. Is it still from ISANS?
Yeah.
George Hannigan?
Hannah.
George Hanna. Why did I forget? So George Hanna, yeah. So you guys do every Wednesday. That's
Every
what
Wednesday,
time? 6 o'clock.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Eastern,
so-
right?
Eastern.
Atlantic or Eastern? Atlantic.
Atlantic.
Yeah, that was a trick question.
So if you wanted to promote your business online, contact youfind.ca. And of course, would like to thank Donnie.
Okay.
Yeah, Donnie Abad. So for your right broker and your right mortgage, contact Donnie Abad at dabad@mortgagealliance.com. So Donnie doesn't just do mortgage and help you with finding the right mortgage. Donnie also does a lot of things with our family. He referred us to one lawyer, and the lawyer really it's amazing. She doesn't charge a lot, so it's nice to have connections with people within the community as well. And of course, for your RRSP and RESP and other financial protection needs, contact again this guy, Donnie Abad. So call him at 902-292-1368. So that's 902-292-1368.
Thanks, Hal. So for your big thanks to Hooked on Detailing for your premium auto detailing and HRM. Contact not Joey, Paul Salvador at 902-412-6001. They are located at 43 Fielding Avenue in Dartmouth, and you'd see some of the nice vehicles in their lot. Thank you very much, Paul.
And of course, the event on the 28th, September 28th. So if you guys are into the 70s, 80s, and 90s music, just like Tom Jones, can you do a sample of Tom Jones? Because you said he's your friend, though.
Beatles.
Oh, Beatles.
Yeah.
You've changed it.
Yeah.
In a split of second.
I just don't want to dance, right?
So Kenny Rogers,
Kenny
Bee
Rogers,
Gees,
yeah.
Whitney Houston,
ABBA.
Lionel Richie. I know Lionel Richie though. He's a very good singer. Earth, Wind and Fire. So if you guys are into those music, and of course you wanted to help their cause, it's only $25. I know $5 goes to their cause, which is the Philippine Tamaraws. So contact Pinoy Event Halifax at gmail.com. So look for Helen Burchell and Alan.
Yeah. Or if they're curious what 70s, 80s, 90s sounds like, and the dances or the costumes, it would be a perfect opportunity for them to explore. Oh, this is how my parents looked like when they were young at my age, right?
They actually have a contest. If you come with the nicest 80s or 70s look, you'll get a special prize from them. So I don't know. we'll find out.
Yeah.
What's the plan for September 28th? But I've heard Nadia Moore a lot of times. She's a great singer. Elmer Castellano will be there.
Yeah.
Elmer Castellano is one of the singing champions in the Valley.
In the Valley, yeah.
So I've heard him a lot of times. And of course, there's K-Movers. Who else will be there? The band will be there. Which band was it?
Field Connect.
Okay, the Field Connect band. So guys, please contact Helen and Alan. It's at Pinoy Event Halifax at gmail.com. And let's go to you. Who's the winner?
Our winner
Who is the winner for our promo play, courtesy of Kabayan Food Mart?
And the winner is Maria Lourdes.
Empainado. That's okay. Maria Lourdes Empainado. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
you have just won yourself a halo halo, the Filipino ultimate summer dessert. Have you tried it?
Never. I would
So
love
come
to.
on over to Kabayan Food Mart. That's in Wise Road in Dartmouth.
Okay.
This Sunday from what time? From 9 till 7 p.m. They will be having the halo halo party.
Oh,
So
nice.
you go there,
Yeah.
bring your own your
20 ounce.
20 ounce cup. It's
Yeah.
quite big though.
Okay.
So you put a lot of like stuff like coconut, sweet, you know the plantain.
Yes.
Plantain back in our country it's better. This one here is here in Walmart it's different though. It doesn't
Yeah.
taste. But anyway, if you go to Kabayan, they have a very good banana. You put a lot of stuff into it. Put some ice and then put some ice cream and put some flan. Have you tried flan?
Leche plan.
I've had flan, yeah.
Yeah.
Herbert is hungry already.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Purple yum, ice cream,
Everything that you can
Condensed
see in
milk.
Kabayan.
yeah.
Put them
Can
in.
we eat it now?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
On Sunday. On Sunday.
Okay, on Sunday.
And it's amazing because $1 will go to the Filipino Association of Nova Scotia. As far as I'm informed, the leaders from the fans will be there. A few of them will be there, so we can't wait to see them. And this is for a good cause. And I'm not sure, but Maynard posted on his Kabayan Food Mart that we'll get 5% discount if we shop at Kabayan on that day. But we have to
There we
verify
go.
that, or else I'm
Yeah.
gonna pay the
Yeah.
5% for that day.
Just make sure you mention Al mentioned it, eh?
Yeah, just verify on his Facebook page. Yeah. So I think what I'm getting from our discussion about ISANS is that the moment you get that approval that you're coming in to Nova Scotia, make sure that you do the connections right away. Because before you come in, there's a pre-arrival service that you guys offer. And then when you come in, do not ignore that. Continue on with the process for you to be able to achieve your dreams in Canada. Because, like what you said, it takes time. You know, it's not a one-shot deal. After a week, I'll get a house right away. No, it takes time. So be patient. That's what Ian was mentioning. So for us to progress here in Canada, we have to take time and be patient and get the appropriate skills necessary for achieving our goals.
In addition to that, ISANS services are not just for employees, they're also for people who would like to start a business. And it doesn't mean that if you've been here for 7 years as an immigrant, that you can no longer avail of their services. You can still go to ISANS and improve further the skills that you have and enhance your knowledge and your skills for you to be better at what you do. And you get the chance to meet some awesome people like Ian and Herbert here.
Thank you.
Yesterday, I got a private message that when they came in 3 years ago, they met you,
Okay.
and then you still can go back and meet Ian again
Yeah,
and see
you
how
were-
you guys have been after coming to ISANS.
They were really happy when they said that they met you and you made a huge impact in their life.
Who was this?
This is we'll tell it to you later on.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Hi, you guys. Yeah.
So maybe next time, as a follow-up, what we can do is probably invite those successful ISANS goers, see like how they did after 5 years or 3 years of coming to ISANS, and follow through, you know, from the services that you guys offered to them,
That's
and
great.
see how they progress from there.
Yeah.
So maybe probably in October.
Yeah.
I deal with the programming, so everything runs in my brain.
Right, yeah,
But we
yeah.
really appreciate your presence,
Thank you very
Herbert.
much,
Thank you
Herbert.
so much, and
Ian.
Ian, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank
it was
you.
great. Yeah.
Awesome, and there's a lot of viewers still watching. Eden Magertz, thank you so much. Amelita in Winder, my neighbor, thank you for watching. So
Yeah.
you know that if I'm not out on a Friday night, then I'm with East Coast Filipino Portal. Because my neighbors were like, "Where's Al? It's Friday." Because normally we have a, Friday night we go out or
Yeah.
do something else. But we are so privileged that with East Coast Filipino Portal and when in Halifax, we have dedicated staff. Koji and his family has been very supportive, and just recently, Koji and myself, we had a very heartwarming experience with this week-old immigrants who came here, and then we got connected with the community, and they felt really good that some locals. Eleanor from the Larry Tech community, she's a Canadian from here, so she helped out with like giving some stuff for our newcomers, because you can't take your couch from the Philippines to Canada because it takes a lot of logistics. So a lot of stuff were given out, and it was really heartwarming to see their smiles, right, Koji? We saw their smiles and they're very grateful. So guys, if you haven't like settled East Coast yet, please do so. And of course, please visit isans.ca. It's not that we wanted to share the blessings also with them, and some other challenges that we've been facing. We've been getting a lot of messages, and next week we'll be very busy with a lot of logistics. So we kind of like coming up with two directories. One directory is for volunteers who will somehow help them pick up from the airport or help them upon arrival, because like when you come here, it's like you're being placed in a map that you don't know where it is or something like that. So that's our main concern. So if you wanted to volunteer and help out the newcomers, please message us. If you're free for a certain day, let us know so that we'll be able to fill in the directory for volunteers for South East Coast. And another thing is for those places to stay, because that's their really main concern. When they come here, they're like they don't know where to stay, to be honest. So that was really challenging.
Let's pray.
Let's start.
Ayan o. Ayan! Yun o. Ito po si special yung pangalan. Special sa Pasay Kid. Nagkita-kita na rin sa Halas. Yun.